Hey everybody, Scott Spreitzer here, DocSports.com. Our update for Tuesday, September 25th, 2018. Free pick coming up in college football in just a moment. First, a quick note, if you've yet to become a member over at DocSports.com, if you've just been starting to watch these videos, it's real easy to try it out. You click on the link below the video and set yourself up for a free $60 account. You can use that on daily packages from me or any of the DocSports.com handicappers of your choice. Again, it's real easy to do, and you can start by clicking on the link below the video. Hey, podcast next 2 days, Tuesday night, late Tuesday night. We'll post it over at DocSports.com, and that'll be my Tuesday night Vegas Sharps podcast with Indian Cowboy, of course, of DocSports.com fame, and also Bertie Fratto. And we're going to cover, as we do every Tuesday night, every single NFL game on the upcoming card. We'll also have 6 games from college football. We'll have best bets for the weekend. And then on Wednesday night, Tony George and I will be in studio for the Vegas Beat podcast. We're also going to have joining us Robert Faringo with college football, Jason Sharp in the NFL, Aaron Kessler behind the counter over at the Golden Nugget, sportsbook director at the Golden Nugget. We'll ask the bookie about a few plays for this upcoming week, where the Sharps are midweek and all that good stuff. Those are the podcasts coming up over the next couple of days over at DocSports.com. Also wanted to mention our football plays, of course, will be posted on Thursday afternoon. And we're 70% with NFL Sundays. I'm looking to get right back in the win column this week. We've got college football for Saturday, including just my second 7-star play of the college football season. Sunday's NFL, it's all going to be available on Thursday afternoon. Listen, our baseball game, if you just happen to see the score, we look like we won our 11th in a row and handily with the Rockies, but we didn't, because even though we had the Rockies, there was a pitching change earlier in the day before the game, and so our play was scratched. So the Rockies got the win, but we get our money back. Unfortunately, did not get the win, but we always name pitchers in the long run. That's going to help us more than it hurts us. So we'll be going for win number 11 in a row on Tuesday, and my baseball release will be available at DocSports.com after 11:30 a.m. Eastern, 8:30 a.m. Pacific. Well, it's Monday night. Pittsburgh's in the win column. We did have them as a free play yesterday. In fact, with free and premium plays, we end up 3-2 in the NFL for Week 3 and a 2-0 sweep here with the free picks Sunday and Monday. And we're going to do what we do every Monday night at this time and Tuesday morning, and that's basically give some notes on every single game from the previous Sunday and Monday in the NFL. And then we'll have a college football free play on this report coming up in just a bit. These aren't in schedule order, by the way. They were as I was watching the games, and I jot down notes and all that kind of good stuff. So let's just jump into it. Plenty of notes. I just highlighted a line or two from each game, and we'll cover them right now. Let's start first, of course, with the Titans beating the Jaguars by a 9-6 final score, and most notably from that, not just the fact that Mariota came in and directed his team to a low-scoring win after Gabbert was knocked out, but this makes, 16 straight games now where the Titans have failed to score more than 24 points. It's just going on and on, this theme of low-scoring games by the Tennessee Titans, but they got the win 9-6. Giants over Houston 27-22. What did we say last week? Eli Manning can still get it done. He just needs a little protection. He didn't get great protection against Houston. J.J. Watt had his first multi-sack game in a few years, but he did go 25 for 29. Incredible performance by Eli, 297 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Saquon Barkley, man, what a great draft pick, obviously, and having him in the backfield. 17 carries, 82 yards, 5 receptions, 32 yards. He's the only running back right now in the NFL through 3 weeks who's had at least a 100-yard scrimmage performance, 100 yards or more from scrimmage in all 3 games this season. Again, J.J. Watt with 3 sacks, not enough, and Houston could be coach hunting sooner than later. Cincinnati goes into Carolina. Panthers win 31-21. Christian McCaffrey, my gosh, 28 for 184 on the ground. Cam, a couple of rushing touchdowns, a couple of passing touchdowns, and Carolina picked off Andy Dalton 4 times. The Ravens knock off the Broncos by a score of 27-14. Bad luck, hard luck loss if you had the over in that one. There were 31 points on the board with 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. Only 10 more points were scored the rest of the way, so 41 combined points between the teams, and it goes under the total. Flacco with a nice game. How about Baltimore in the red zone this season? 12 times in the red zone, and they've scored 12 times. Raiders in Miami. Miami wins 28-20. Derek Carr does it again. Gets picked off in the red zone at an opportune time, just like week 1 against the Rams. And in this case, Oakland was driving to take the lead with about 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. They were only down 21-17. Miami now 10-1 straight up in Ryan Tannehill's last 11 starts. And Oakland, they just keep wearing down guys. They've been outscored 37-3 in the fourth quarter so far this season. So Gruden's got to get his boys on track over the final fourth quarter of the game because that's what's been letting them down thus far. The Bills spanked the Vikings. Wow, 27-6. Didn't have any action on this game, but I couldn't turn it off the way the Bills were playing in the first half. Josh Allen, 15 for 22, 196, 3 total touchdowns on the ground and through the air altogether. Play calling was outstanding. It wasn't safe with the rookie at quarterback. When they were building that 27-0 lead, they were going for it, man. They were attacking downfield. We saw Josh Allen hurdling would-be tacklers. Just a tremendous performance. Bills' pass rush was outstanding on defense. Listen, Minnesota didn't, I mean, they were biting on every single fake screen on Sunday. They were just flat as hell, man. You had one team that was ready to go, that being Buffalo, one team that was just lost. I mean, thinking about last week or maybe the short week in the game at the Rams because they did not come to play on Sunday. The New Orleans Saints go to overtime. They knock off the Falcons in Atlanta 43-37. Calvin Ridley, the young rookie, big game, 7 grabs, 146 yards, 3 touchdowns for the Falcons. Michael Thomas, 10 more receptions from Drew Brees. And Brees, by the way, been tearing it up. Big game against the Falcons. We saw him go 39 for 49. How about the fact that on the season, Drew Brees is now 104 for 129. That's just under 81% as far as his completion rate. And he's averaging over 40 passes per game. He's got an 8-0 touchdown to INT ratio. Drew Brees just tearing it up. Bears knock off the Cardinals 16-14. Bradford, of course, had that interception at midfield. The fumble inside the Bears 20. Early in the fourth quarter, we had the over. There was a great stat on the over for teams that fail to reach 10 points in back-to-back games. That's the Arizona Cardinals. Thought we were on our way to an over. It was 14-0 early, but Bradford just a stumble bum, especially inside the Bears' 20-yard line. They finally bring Josh Rosen in with about 4 minutes to go in the game. Give me a break. Throws an interception around the Bears' 30-yard line. Why bring him in with 4 minutes to go down, a couple of points here? I mean, it's just ridiculous. They should have brought him in the second quarter. Maybe should have started him. We thought he would be in somewhere in the third quarter if they struggled, but no such luck. But now they make the quarterback change. Arizona, they're going to go with Josh Rosen as the starter this upcoming week. The Niners, they lose to Kansas City 38-27. You know all about Jimmy G by now. Garoppolo out for the year with the ACL injury. Mahomes keeps it going. One of his touchdown passes on Sunday, he scrambled around for 32 yards, if you counted it by yards, going back and forth parallel to the line of scrimmage before finding the open receiver in the end zone. Very Fran Tarkenton-like. And if you're under 40, just Google Fran Tarkenton, check it out, or look at YouTube and check it out. Man, that's what it reminded me of. But 13 touchdowns, no interceptions so far this year for Patrick Mahomes. Going to be C.J. Beathard, who's going to start this week for San Francisco. The only other quarterback right now on the active roster, Nick Mullins, undrafted free agent out of Southern Miss. And by the way, first quarter, if you're going up against Kansas City, a little bit of advice for opposing coaches. If you win the coin flip, take the ball. Kansas City's outscored their first 3 opponents 49-6 in the opening quarter thus far. Packers lose to the Redskins 31-17. The Skins were a good sharp bet on Sunday. How about AP Adrian Peterson, 120 yards, couple of touchdowns, and of course the ridiculous call on Clay Matthews on the sack. Just ridiculous. I'm so tired of this, man. We watched it again Monday night. Very good football game, but we had to deal with all those penalties. But in that particular game, it was still within Green Bay's reach when Clay Matthews was called for that penalty. Could have changed the outcome of the game. Alex Smith was Alex Smith-like. He was effective. He did have a 50-yarder for a touchdown. We don't see that too much out of him. And the Redskins scored 4 touchdowns on their first 6 drives to pull out to a nice lead and then hang on against Green Bay. Seattle knocks off Dallas 24-13. The takes from there. Dak Prescott sacked 5 times. I'm telling you, it's just they didn't go for play fakes at all, did Seattle, against the Cowboys. They just pinned their ears back, came after him, and got him. And now Dak Prescott has been under 200 yards passing in 5 straight games and in 9 of his last 11 games. Russell Wilson, by the way, starting quarterback for Seattle, they are 44-10 straight up. That's his career record in front of the home folks. The Colts go into Philly. The Colts got the win as far as the spread was concerned. Eagles went outright 20-16, and Carson Wentz wasn't all that rusty. He looked great on the game-winning drive. It took 11 minutes on that drive. He goes 25 for 37, 255, a touchdown and a pick. And the Eagles sacked Andrew Luck on 4th down. Colts had the ball inside the Philly 5-yard line, and he was sacked on that play with about a minute or so to go. Eagles, by the way, now 11-1 straight up in Wentz last 12 starts. Rams over the Chargers 35-23. Special teams kill the Bolts again. Punt blocked in the end zone for a Rams touchdown. That's the difference in the game as far as the spread was concerned. They also had a situation where they had a 4th and 5 inside the Rams 20. Late in the game, they could have cut into that spread again and covered for the underdog takers. Completed pass for 1st down. Fumble at the Rams 12-yard line. Game over. Spread covered by the Rams. Goff, big day. 3 touchdowns, only 1 pick, about 350 yards. The Chargers are just sloppy, man. They shoot themselves in the foot constantly. Meanwhile, the Rams offense, 521 yards, 33 first downs. Sunday night, the Pats get blasted 26-10 by Detroit. First downs, Detroit 25-12. Yardage, Detroit 414 on 5.9 yards per play. New England just 209 yards, 4.4 yards per play. Brady, 4.3 yards per pass. They got no targets at the wideout positions. He only targeted his wide receivers 5 times. 4 times to Chris Hogan, once to Cordarrelle Patterson. That was it. 5 throws to wide receivers. Stafford with a nice game, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. But how about Kerryon Johnson? He had just 13 carries the first 2 games combined. He got 16 carries on Sunday for 101 yards. And by the way, went back and looked, and only 5 times, 5 seasons in the last 16 seasons, has New England lost back-to-back games in the course of a season. They never once won a Super Bowl in those 5 seasons that happened. They only made it to a Super Bowl once in those 5 games. But I'll tell you what, the week after losing back-to-back, they are a perfect 5-0 straight up, 4-1 against the spread, and they won those 5 games by an average score of 34-12. They're laying, 7 or so against Miami, who, by the way, is a 2-game lead over the New England Patriots in the division at 3-0. And finally, on Monday night, Pittsburgh outlast Tampa Bay 30-27. Ben and his wide receivers did what we thought they would when we talked to you guys on the video last night, and that they would go after a secondary they could beat. But where was the offense in the second half? First half, they get 30 points. They didn't score a single point over the final 2 quarters, but they were able to hold on to that 3-point win. Should get more than that, man. You got to score at least 10 points against that secondary per half. As far as Fitzpatrick, terrible start, great finish. Ends up with, 420 yards or whatever it was passing. And he now becomes the first NFL quarterback in history to throw for 400 or more yards in 3 straight games. I think he solidified himself as the starter, even with Jameis Winston coming back from suspension. So there's our Week 3 recap. We do these every single Monday night after Monday Night Football on these videos. We'll continue to do so each and every week throughout the rest of the season. Before I get to my free play in college football, a quick note, don't forget, going for our 11th straight win in Major League Baseball. The play will be up Tuesday after 11:30 a.m. Eastern, 8:30 a.m. Pacific over at DocSports.com. You don't want to miss out. And don't forget about the great offers with the rest of the season in college football and the NFL, again, at DocSports.com. $60 free account. All you got to do is click on the link below the video. Set yourself up for the free $60 account over at DocSports.com. All right, free play. We've been pretty good with these early value plays, and we are suggesting or recommending that you lay 8 with the Buffalo Bulls on Saturday, 12 noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, over Army. And listen, we respect Army like crazy. We had them as our top play in college football. 2 weeks ago, they got the win. This past week, they go into Oklahoma. They're a huge underdog, and they make the Sooner faithful sweat to the very end before losing the game in overtime. But now coming off of that, we think it's going to be tough right now after a 7-point win 2 weeks ago. The ultra-tough loss against the Oklahoma Sooners when they had a chance to pull off that huge upset as 30-point dogs. And this is going to be a tough go for them, I think, against Buffalo. The Bulls are off to their best start in 30-plus years, and they're coming off a nice win over a Big Ten opponent. Yes, it's Rutgers, but they still beat them up pretty good, especially in the trenches. Great job by the Buffalo Bulls thus far, and I think it's reasonable to lay 8 to 9 points with Buffalo in this one. That'll be our first play this week. The Buffalo Bulls, your free play as we look ahead to Saturday's card. We're going to be right back here on Wednesday, 4 a.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. Pacific, with our next free play and report. Until then, I'm Scott Spreitzer, DocSports.com. Let's put them in the win column on Tuesday. And listen, if you like what you hear, click on the thumbs up button. Be sure to subscribe. We appreciate those who have done so thus far. Good luck on Tuesday, right back here Wednesday morning.